Hello, it's me, Lori, and this is Beginner's Yoga. And this week we have quite a lot to do, trying to introduce more poses. And so we might not stay as long in the poses as we've been doing in the past. Make sure you're wearing comfortable clothes and you have your yoga mat or whatever you're using, and any kind of blankets or pillows or any kind of modifications that you need to help you. Uh, this week we're going to be doing a triangle pose, and if you have something like here, this is a box I have. You can use it like as a prop to put your hand on if you can't go all the way down to the floor with your arm or your hand. You could use books, you can use whatever you need. Um, there are blocks you can buy, yoga blocks, and maybe someday I'll buy them, I don't know. But you could use pillows and blankets, books, boxes, as long as they're strong and sturdy. And then make sure that you don't do too much. If it hurts, then slow down, stop, don't keep going on. Do only as far as you can. There is nothing wrong with that. Some of the poses I can only go so far, so don't worry about it. Anyway, let's get started. And as usual, we're going to start on the mat in our yoga seat. And we can have our hands here at the heart center, or we can have them in our lap, or we can put them on our legs. However you want to do it, it's fine with me. And I'm going to do some deep breathing, which means I'm going to make sure I fill up my lungs and that my stomach moves, because the diaphragm is going down and pushing my stomach out. That's how I know my lungs are full of air. And then I do a long, slow exhale. So I breathe in, I wait a couple of seconds, let that settle, and then I breathe out, and I wait a couple of seconds before I take the next breath. That's how we're doing it. Okay. So, and this week, you can focus on yourself, because this is a practice of loving yourself and taking care of yourself. Congratulations. And so you might want to think about what's been going on for you, and how does your body feel, and put strength and energy into yourself. Imagine each time you breathe that you're bringing in energy and strength so that you can do the practice. So without further ado, let's get going. So the first pose we're going to do is mountain. So stand up, have your feet a little bit apart, toes turned a little bit inward, and your hands at your side. I'm looking down because the computer's on the floor, but Okay, and then make sure that your back is straight, legs are straight, but not rigid. We don't want rigid knees. And make sure your shoulders are down. And breathe a couple of times. Ground yourself. This is a grounding pose, and it's the start of all standing poses. So let us start. Do you feel like a mountain? Do you feel strong and grounded? Yeah. So now we're going to do downward dog. And what I want you to do is get down on the floor, like on your hands and knees, and your shoulders should, or your arms should be right underneath your shoulders. And then what you do from here is you straighten your legs and make yourself into a V. Try to keep your feet a little bit apart, and if you can, press your heels to the ground. You don't have to, or if it's too hard, maybe you should go back a little bit, you know. Come up a little bit, whatever you need to do. Now you're making the V, so you want to make sure your back is straight and keep your head straight too. It's part of the V. And this is downward facing dog. Good. Now we're going to go into Warrior One. So do you remember doing Warrior One last week? If you remember, we put our right leg out and we put our other leg back behind us. And the width here that you have them out is up to what makes you comfortable. The recommendation is like a leg's width apart. But if that's too hard, come up until you're comfortable. And then you want to bend your leg at almost, well, like a 90-degree angle. Okay. So, and then we're going to turn our body forward. Okay. Our back is straight, our shoulders are down, and we're going to lift our arms and look up. This will strengthen your core. It's good for your legs. It's good for your stomach and your back. Breathe, breathe to get through this, okay? So if you start having a hard time, start breathing slow and evenly. And now we're going to go right into Warrior Two. No, we should do this on the other side, sorry. So you're going to go to your left side, bend your leg at a 90-degree angle. Have your legs however far apart you need them. Turn towards the front of you. Lift up your arms. Powerful. Warrior one. Right. Now we're going to go into warrior two. So start on the right side, and we're going to do exactly what we did before, except for we're not going to turn forward. We're going to keep our hips facing this way. Okay. And then your arms come out. So this is what it's going to look like. And then you gaze over your feet. Now let's do this on the other side. Good. And now we're going to do triangles. So I was telling you before, if you need a prop, you're going to have your legs out, sort of like warrior, but you're going to bend down and your arm is going to the ground and the other arm is going straight up. Okay, so if you need something that's right here to help you, if you can't get down, that's fine. Your back is straight. And then look at the dream. Excellent. And now we're going to do that on the other side. So feet wide apart, bending over and down, and looking up at the hand. Keeping our back straight. You see, on this side, I can't go down as far, so I'm holding on to my ankle. That's okay, though. Good. That was pretty hard. So give yourself some pat on the back. Now we're going to do tree. So I think we've done this before, but if you need a wall or something that you can like hold on to, a chair, something that you can grab in case you want to fall, do that. We're going to put our right foot up above or right on our leg. You can put it up as high as you want. And then we're going to have overhead imaginary tree. All right. And let's do that on the other side. So your left foot goes on the inside of your right leg. And you bring your arms up overhead. So, if you have some trouble, that's okay. I'm having trouble too. Breathe. Great. These are all good for our core. They're stabilizing. You have to have some core strength, your back and your stomach, your legs and your arms. These exercises take care of all that. So now we're going to get down on the floor. And we're going to do plank. So again, you're on your hands and knees. Your arms are right under your shoulders. You're going to kind of cup the floor so that you have some leverage there. And then you're going to put one leg and then the other leg back. And this is good job. Now, these are all stable, helping core stability. And the thing is if you do this for a month, your body will change. It's guaranteed. As things get easier for you, you add more time to the, that you stay in the pose. So at first it might only be, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and then you go to a minute, and then a minute and a half, and then two. And then there's a point where you're like, okay, it's time to go on to the next pose. So now this one, I want you to get down on your hand or on the floor, like staff pose. And what we're going to do is incline plane. So get your body up and then put your legs out straight. So your arms are right underneath your shoulders. And this is called incline plane. So we're just doing the opposite of what we were doing before. Great. Now we're going to get down on the floor. Knees are up. And you're going to put your arms alongside of your body. And then you're going to straighten out your body. And this is bridge. This is good for your back. Make sure you're breathing. Excellent. And now turn over and get on your belly. And grab your ankles. And you should just be on your belly. This is bow. Make sure you're breathing. Very, very good. And now we're going to do upward facing dog. So you're still on the ground, but your legs are behind you. You get your hands under your hands under your shoulders and lift yourself off the mat. Keep your pubic bone down to the floor, but the rest of you should be off the mat. This is, I think of it as cobra, but there's some slight variations between the different poses. One group says it's this, and another group says it's that. Mhm. All right. Now, if you have back problems, these are probably, just skip and go back to, child's pose or whatever. But so they're calling that upward facing dog in this, on this card. And I thought of it as cobra. So I was like, oh, what was that called? Upward facing dog. In other places, they would say that's cool. Okay, so now I want you to get into down pose. And we're going to do the forward seated bend. And only go as far as you can. You're hinging at the hips. You're keeping your back straight, shoulders down. You're looking forward. And go. And once you've found where as far as you can go, just stay there and breathe. Now we're going to do something for the abs specifically. And I've showed you this one before. And it's boat. So you're sitting and you bring your legs up and you put your arms out. to leave the boat. Okay. And finally, we're going to go do child. So get on your hands and knees and sit back on your ankles and bring your body forward with your head touching the ground. You can put your arms out in front of you for a shoulder stretch, or you can just leave them behind you or beside you and have the palms up. I like the shoulder stretch. And we're going to stay here for at least a minute, if not more. I don't want to come out there. Okay, so we only got a few minutes left. Come back into your yoga seat. How do you feel? Is there anything that's hurting? Anything that feels good? Are you having an easy time breathing? What I want you to do is you can go through your whole body and breathe in strength and healing and breathe out stress. Or if you don't feel like you have anything that's wrong with you and you don't need to do that, then I want you to think about what you're grateful for. So, what are you grateful for? Think about it and breathe. Try to have a little smile on your face, a little bit of smile. It convinces us, if we smile, it convinces our brain that we're happy. So if we have just a regular face, after a while, it just looks like we're frowning, especially as we get older. So try to have a little smile on your face. Do that as long as you need to. We're out of time. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope these exercises are helpful for you. Remember, if you do these every day, you're going to see a difference. So keep going. Do it because you love yourself. And I will see you next week. Goodbye.